I keep forgetting to hit the record button. I got the iPhone 13. I haven't got it yet. It's coming in. They're going to call me in and get it. This is my current phone. It's a Motorola Moto 4K video phone, but the battery is swelling, and this is dangerous because the battery could leak and explode. And so I saw a need to, and I was in my car and I was noticing that Spotify or that the Bluetooth was not updating the car's. I couldn't answer the phone, and the music when it played would only show me the first song, and then every song after that, even though they played, it wouldn't update the naming of the song. And so I realized, okay, I probably shouldn't just get this thing fixed. I'm going to get a complete new phone. And so I went into the store and talked to the guy a lot. You know how I talk to you guys, the Human Podcast, people call me, and out of all the stuff that I said to him, and I went through stuff like, the reason why Linux doesn't tend to have viruses or iPads is because of the iPad App Store. People get all their stuff through the App Store, and it has to be vetted through the App Store and things like that. And then I talked to him about Star Wars and the reason why Star Wars looks so realistic compared to all the stuff that came before. Like if you ever saw Silent Running, or any of the, or uh, any of the other space films, that even 2001, you never got close enough to the space station they had there, and it was believable, but not to the same degree as Star Wars because there was a lot of motion. The reason why that was is because by the time Star Wars came in, somebody had developed a computer controlled camera system, and they had a camera, and they had the model locked in place, and they could do the flybys with the other models by having them robotically controlled. So the camera was robotically controlled, the models were robotically controlled, and so they could take um, lots and lots of photos and move the camera and past the model, and you would get this effect that it was much bigger than it was. And the reason why was because the camera, the lens was probably a super macro lens, and it could get into the real detail of the model and got really close to the model and was moving really slowly whenever it was taking the movie. And what it was doing was it was taking more frames, or it was taking the frames, less frames, but it was moving the camera with respect to the model and trying to create the same emotion and accuracy that would be needed, because otherwise it's not going to look real. And so that computer controlled stuff was the reason why Star Wars looks so much better than the stuff before. And they didn't have computer graphics. I mean, that came years before Tron. And Tron was pretty much the state of computer graphics at the time it came out. And so if you look at Tron and then you go and you look back at Star Wars, you would like Star Wars more because they were working with models, and it was artists working on real models, and they could make those things look really detailed. But that kind of detail to models didn't come into computer graphics until like the 90s. And so, and the reason why Pixar exists? Because it used to be a part of ILM, Industrial Light and Magic. And Industrial Light and Magic. And the reason why that computer graphics division was let go, because George Lucas thought that it could never amount to much of anything because it cost too much and the stuff it was putting out wasn't realistic enough. And so the people that were working there went over and tried to find somebody to buy up the division because George Lucas was going to let it go. And that's what became Pixar. And they sold it to Steve Jobs. And they even tried to brand monitors as being Pixar monitors because I guess Steve was trying to take advantage of. I don't understand the story behind it. I just remember seeing the monitors. But uh, one of the guys who sold that to Steve or got Steve to buy Pixar was Alvy Ray Smith, and I have a friend who is a friend of Alvy Ray Smith, but Alvy's dead. Um, Alvy was one of the guys that helped. I think he helped program Renderman, and my friend said that he was working on another Renderman that was going to use vector math or I mean, he's going to use um, stuff like PostScript to create RenderMan shaded stuff, and that would be resolution independent RenderMan output rather than pixel based, and it was going to call it something like Iceman or something. But anyhow, I'm going to cut the video off because it's getting too long. Having been involved with TikTok now, I know what too long is. So stop it.